Hello, everybody. I'm back again. My name is Mlu. I'm a product designer based in South Africa, and I think I'm enjoying documenting my process. This is basically all that is. Today, I'm going to talk about my workflow using design tokens and Token Studio, which is a recent find. And I think I'm enjoying it thoroughly. So I just wanted to share how I actually go about my stuff, working with tokens. So I'll show you quickly, because what inspired this is that at work I'm on a project that has an internal and external facing application, and it's exactly the same application but catering to two different sets of people. One set is internal in the organization, another set is external, so for external providers and the like. And I've found that I've usually, from when I started in January of this year, a lot of the time is I have to redo the same screens and just maybe recolor them, right? And I was always curious as to whether or not there's a different or more efficient way of getting that done, right? So I've created a fictitious project here with some screens. They're not quite important, but the idea is to maybe show you how I would actually apply tokens and theme a UI for maybe something that's of maybe if you're working on a project that's going to be white labeled or anything like that, this might be helpful to you. But yeah, let's maybe get into it. So I'm going to quickly open Token Studio. You can also do that. You can go Shift I and click on plugins, and then you just go to Token Studio, and that should show up over there. I've already got it open. They've got, I think, some kind of update that has happened here. So I'm going to just close that. What I typically do, or what I've done, is I've stored all my tokens on GitHub, and that's helpful because I can use my tokens on different files, right? So yeah, that's quite cool because I can make use of, if I'm opening, let's say maybe I duplicate a file that we're going to use as a white label product or whatever, right? I can then pull in my tokens from GitHub and theme that other file without needing to copy color styles and text styles and such and such. So because I've done so, I should be able to see, sync providers. So yeah, you'll be able to see GitHub over here. And then you can then go ahead and fill in your details here, and then that should pull up any active repositories that you might have, and you can then pull in your tokens from there. So that's probably, maybe as a designer, you might not be used to that, but it's not that bad. So I'm just gonna pause the video and then I'm gonna add my stuff. Cool. So I've pulled in my tokens. You should be able to see that's my GitHub repo, and Figma tokens, that's the folder that I'm pulling in from. Then I can say it's active and I click on that. Set document storage, you can always back. No, I don't want to set it to local. So once I've done that, I can pull my tokens from GitHub by clicking that little arrow there, and I should then see brand 1, brand 2. So how Token Studio works pretty much is you will have a set of tokens. So you'll have brand 1 or brand 2 depending on what you have. I don't have the pro version, but you could also have themes, so dark theme, light theme, and you can have different permutations based on your specific need. In this case, it's just a simple color difference that I have, so just to illustrate how I would typically work with these. And you apply these to your page, right? And usually how that's done is you could either do it in a more fine-grained way, which is how I would actually approach it. So let me quickly first talk about the different types of tokens that I have. You can set up a variety of tokens. So you can have color, you can have border radius, border width, box shadow, typography, and that is, so you'd have maybe one font is normal, one font is semi-bold, capitalized, etc. That's how I've got it here. Then I also have font families, so I can change the global text style or the font family for the whole entire page or the project, depending on whether or not I want to. You have font weights, you have line heights. Dude, it's crazy, right? So you could have like font size if you want to maybe set specific size. You have paragraph spacing, letter spacing, text case, text decoration. So that would be whether something is underlined or something like that. You have border, you have opacity. I think I don't have tokens for these. You have composition, which I'm not sure I understand at this point, but I don't really use it. And you also have assets, so you could store your logo, for example, here in a URL. As long as you've stored it somewhere online, you can probably bring it back here. You have booleans, and you also have any other kind of tokens that you have here. So I'm going to go ahead and hide empty groups. Then what I'll first try and do is I'm going to select this whole page and see if I apply the second brand, do I have any changes. Now ideally what I would want to do is I would want to have my primary brand color for buttons, right? So then what I do is I will toggle back to brand 1, and you start noticing some differences there. So for brand 1, that color or that button is blue. But I noticed that my icon color doesn't change, and it should. So I'm gonna select it and I'm gonna make it, so I have brand color and I'm gonna make it that color there. Right, so that's gonna be the full color. I hope that works. And then I'm also gonna select that, and I'm going to make that the brand color as well. Cool. So I'm also gonna make sure that, so these icons aren't really icons. At the time I was doing this, I just really copied SVGs over from Font Awesome. So yeah, that's how I got those colors. But I'm gonna probably just make these a different color. And sometimes you get like an error here. Maybe it's a computational error or something different, but I sometimes get an error there, but it still does it nonetheless. So I'll continue with it. I'm also going to make this a lighter color so that it doesn't take away from this. And then I'm just going to make sure that this is pop in 16. So I guess it should most likely be this one here. No, sorry, base. So it should be base. Cool. That should work, I think. Yeah, something is not working correctly there. Let's just change the token and see. It's not updating there. Okay, that's weird. Let me just quickly do this. I'm gonna restart this plugin. And then have it going again. And then I'm also going to reload my tab, because sometimes there's that. So cool beans, let's try that again. So just making sure that that's selected. Oh, is that within a component? Maybe that's why. But anyway, let's just run the plugin again, and you'll see it says fetching remote tokens. So those tokens are mine. Cool beans. So I'm then going to set this to be base semi-bold. Yeah, it's not going to do it. So I'm going to have to detach this. Should have thought about that. Inside, I'm going to detach all of them at the same time. That's fine. Let's try and do it again. Oh, you know why? Because it couldn't find the font. So I'm actually going to change the font. Because I don't have this font installed on this computer. So I'm going to edit the token. That was a fun learning curve. I'm going to just change it to Poppins because I think I have this here. And I'm going to save that. Now I can change the name of this token to something else. You know what? Actually, no. I'm not going to do that because I'm going to probably reuse this somewhere else. So yeah, that's why it wasn't updating. So because all of these yeah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna undo that and probably gonna keep them at the same weight, right? Yeah, so that's they all base text, semi bold, and then this one, okay, I think that color is fine. This one is going to be, let's make it capitalized. Let's see. Yeah. Yep, that works perfectly. Cool beans. I didn't do this in an auto layout. I did this when I was younger, and that should be fine. Actually, don't need that background, so I'm just gonna make sure that this yeah, I was young, guys, when I did this. So we can just maybe change that to an auto layout. We can make it fill the container, and we can space the items in between and say auto. It's where it was. We can give it as much padding as we need. So we'll give it left padding, just left. We don't need anything there. We'll say 32 over there, just so it looks fine. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give it a background color. So in order for us to do that, we're using these tokens, is we can apply a fill, right? And now maybe we can think about, okay, let's give it a nice rounded corner, but maybe not everywhere. So we're going to exclude those sections there, and just make that 0, and everywhere else is fine. So I think that's cool for now. Yeah, I think that's cool for now. It'll work. So what we can do is then we can give it, like, we've given it a full color over there, and this should also be, yes, that's brand, that's also brand. Yeah, that's brand for sure. Sometimes you just want to make sure that you remove and replace the full. And I'm gonna make sure that all of these icons that I copied as SVGs, actually I use them as a font. I'd be lying if I say I copied them as SVGs. I use them as a font. So I have the font awesome font installed. It was a long process, but I was younger when I did this. Cool. So then I just also want to make sure that this is set to brand. So you'll see that the brand is highlighted there as well. It's also set to brand there. That also has, so that's set to, that's the text color, but if you right click, you'll see that the border is brand over there. Brand, what's the name of the token? Brand 900. So yeah, that's how I would do it. But then also for fun, right? So we could see what it would look like, is we could probably make that brand, right? And see, oh, okay, that's pretty yucky. And that over there is brand. So then also what I want to do is I want to make sure that these are also set to brand. So I'll just make sure that both the border and the full of that in the bottom bar, you know, is set to brand. Alright, cool beans. So now we can keep that one, we can keep brand 1 selected, and we can go into brand 2, and we can actually update this token. So we can say maybe this one has just want to make it a more distinct color, so let's maybe make it like a pink, right? And should we then select the set, and I just want to make sure that everything is in view here. Yeah, so should we select the set, so we're going to unselect this one, you'll see that things automatically change over. So then my workflow is just simply doing this, is that I'll take this selection and make a copy, because it's exactly the same screens, right? And then for that selection, I'd keep it sorry, it's applying to page, so I'll just make sure it's applying to selection. And then this one will be that one. Now you'll see that I have exactly the same screen, but I've been able to white label it for my purpose, and that makes my life that much more easier. So that's how I use tokens to get around in life. Makes my life that much more easier. So yeah, until we meet again, looking forward to sharing some more useful tips with you guys next time. Until then, bye.